Hi there, Kristen here. So this week I'm here to talk with you about just some tips for working with Reiki for self-healing. So last week we talked a little bit about just generally doing self-healings for ourselves, and I want to kind of continue on that same thread. So I mentioned last week the working with the four bodies, right? Our mental body, our physical body, our emotional body, and our energetic body. I have found it to be really, really helpful to differentiate my body in these four ways. And by that, what I mean is that when I'm, setting my intention with the Reiki, when I'm opening myself up to work with the Reiki, and I set the intention, please help me heal and release and activate my body. If I say that, feels pretty good. But if I go deeper and I say my physical body, my mental body, my emotional body, my energetic body, I feel a lot more resonance of the energy. And by that, what I mean is like, I have found that the Reiki really loves to be kind of tangibilized, right? It exists in this like nebulous energy world, and we exist in this very material physical world. And so we're kind of melding these two realms, right? Like we as beings meld these two realms because we are physical beings who have energy, right? And so when we're working with the energy, it can be really helpful to kind of give it tangible ways to work with our physical form. And so when using that language, please help me clear my mental body of any negative and attacking thoughts. Please help me clear my emotional body of any negative and attacking thoughts. Please help me clear my physical body of any negative and attacking energy, right? Please help me heal my emotional body of any mental or negative and attacking thoughts. And so when we give that kind of more specified permission to the Reiki, it can work in a much more complete and holistic ways. So I invite you to really play with that energy of inviting the Reiki to work with our four bodies, right? I've found this to be really helpful when doing all sorts of healing from past stuff that happened either in my past life right now or in past lives or generational stuff, and really asking that the Reiki work on those four different levels: mental, physical, emotional, and energetic. I feel as though the energy has a much broader reach and a much wider scope when it's able to work on those levels. And this can be done just again with our intention when we sit in a meditation, when we lay down to work with the Reiki, and we just say, please help me heal and clear these four bodies: mental, physical, emotional, energetic. It can be really just helpful, I think, to kind of visualize ourselves as having these four different segments. It really creates a lot more of a holistic view on ourselves. And a lot of us too are very familiar with the chakra system, right? The chakra system that moves along our central spinal column, right? And moves up from the root chakra to the sacral, to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the third eye, to the crown, right? So that's another space that we can invite the Reiki to heal, clear, activate, open our chakras, right? And we can say all of our chakras, we can name them, right? Because we also have chakras like in our hands and at our joints. There are energy powerhouses, which is essentially what the chakras are, all throughout our body, not just on the central spinal column, although those are the ones that most folks are familiar with. And so it can be also a really helpful thing to invite the Reiki to work with those energy powerhouses, our chakras, right? And clear and activate and open those chakras. And then again, we have our meridian system, right? Which is a system of energy highways, essentially, that are mapped through our body and have been used by traditional Chinese medicine for thousands or hundreds, at least, of years. And it is a way, right, that energy moves through our bodies. And so inviting the Reiki to work with our meridians to activate, open, clear our meridians can also be a really great way to feel the Reiki in our physical body and invite the Reiki into a deeper relationship with our healing of our bodies. So I think it can be really helpful to kind of meld together the use of this perception of our four bodies, our mental, physical, emotional, and energetic bodies, to meld the chakra systems, right, as well as the meridians. And really, again, like, we don't need to mentally know where the meridians are. We don't need to mentally know what the chakras stand for and are, although that can be really helpful and a fun thing for us to learn. But the Reiki doesn't actually need us to like mentally know like all the facts about these ways that we understand how energy works and moves through our bodies. The Reiki doesn't really need to have that mental understanding. It can just be invited to work with us through those ways. So I encourage you this week, when you're working with Reiki for self-healing, to really give the Reiki permission to work with your chakras, to work with your meridians, to work with your four bodies. Again, the Reiki is very much like respecting of our free will. And the more that we give it permission to work with us, the deeper it can go in helping us heal. I'll also name as well that as someone who does like to receive acupuncture and acupressure, that sometimes while I'm receiving and the needles are actually in my body, I'll ask the Reiki, please take note of where these needles are. And then later, when I'm doing self-healing, I can say, Reiki, please work on those acupressure points. Please work on those acupuncture points. And then all of a sudden, the Reiki has very tangible points of where to kind of channel energy into my body. Now, again, the Reiki is exceptionally wise, and we don't need to be like telling it how to work with us and like guiding it necessarily. It is, again, we need to kind of surrender over to the Reiki. But when we're talking about how are we letting our guard down to give permission to this universal life force energy, how are we opening up the parts of us that are kind of closed to give permission to this universal life force energy to work through us, it can be really helpful to have these kind of tangible ways of saying, please work with my chakras, please work with my meridians, please work with my four bodies. And again, do what feels right for you, whatever you feel called to do. Really trust yourself and trust your intuition. Work with this. See how you feel. See how the energy feels. Again, so much of working with Reiki for me is about the felt sense of the energy in my body. Yeah, it's really great. Awesome. Again, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video. I have my email address in the comments, or not the comments, but the little blurb underneath the video. If you're interested in receiving a Reiki session, I do so distantly, so we can do it from anywhere in the world. Or if you're interested in becoming attuned to Reiki 1 so that you can do self-healing with Reiki on yourself, please reach out to me. I teach classes pretty regularly, and we can get you plugged in there. As always, I hope you have fun playing with the Reiki this week and just feeling how it feels really to invite the Reiki to work with our different energy systems, and really let ourselves deepen into the relationship with this spiritually wise life force energy. Awesome. Bye now.